Hi guys, so we're going to talk about Bizzi's Pyometra journey. So we took her in early February, around the 2nd, I believe, and she was having chills, as you can see. She had been vomiting. She kept overheating. We assumed it was fever. When we did take her in, they said she didn't have a fever, but maybe it was because she had cooled down by that time. She would drink water, but she wasn't really eating. Was very sluggish, low energy, just not really, feeling herself. And this, when we went in, we weren't able to do all of the things that the doctor wanted to do. Plus, a lot of it was things that had really nothing to do with what was going on with her or that seemed to point to anything that would help with her symptoms. We did what we could and kept it moving. Plus, she did mention Pyometra, but she said that it didn't seem like it would be Pyometra because of the fact that she seemed like, because of her heat cycle was a week prior, which normally Pyometra happens later. As you can see, this Vetrical high calorie gel, we ended up getting that for her to help her, try to get some nutrition since she wasn't eating. We also ended up getting these test strips to dip in her urine, which test for a lot of different things, which was helpful. I also was suspecting a urinary tract infection in her, so we got that. This is showing how she couldn't even hold water. She was throwing up. Look how she can't even like hop up on the little lounge furniture outside. Normally she just hop up there no problem. She couldn't do it. Poor baby, she lost so much weight, which is what prompted me to get the high calorie stuff, gel for her, the Vetrical, which I did get from Amazon. I'll put a link below for you guys. We also put her on a natural antibiotic that we got from Amazon, which helped her. It seemed like she was feeling a lot better after about a week or two. So I thought she was okay. Stopped it, and then a few weeks later was when I realized that she had lost so much weight, and we started her on the Vetrical and the other cranberry supplement. So we ended up doing a virtual visit for her, and the doctor did tell us that, it sounds more like Pyometra than a urinary tract infection. But the reason we thought UTI was because, you know, for one, she had just got through having like sex all day and all night with the other dog all week long, and then she started being sick and having like a little discharge. So I know that when I have a UTI, I'm extremely sick. No good. Look at how much weight she lost. You can kind of see, look at her waist. But yeah, so the doctor did give her antibiotics. He put her on amoxicillin, but he said that, it was looking more like Pyometra. We should probably have her seen. So we're calling around, trying to get her in somewhere. Nobody has appointments for spay, and calling about, suspected Pyometra. It's like thousands of dollars, which I don't just have lying around. So we're trying to find a place that we could take her affordably, and also a place that would spay her. Pyometra, see, even though it's still a spay, it's automatically, the price automatically doubles, triples, quadruples, because if they do have Pyometra, which is a deadly uterus infection in female dogs, it is harder to do, because the uterus is swollen and full of pus and etc. So we were able to get an appointment for March 17th. That was the closest we could get, at this one place, and the price was okay. So I was like, okay, fine, we'll go there. They'll do all her tests, they'll do her her surgery and everything. But I ended up calling another place the next day. I didn't realize that it was actually a non-profit, which was perfect, because they specialize in doing these surgeries for dogs affordably. And it turns out that they actually did specialize in Pyometra. So we did end up taking her there. This is the day before, I think. So she went to work with me, and she was being a little bit more high energy. I was like, okay, look at her, noose around it, she feeling herself. So anyway, we called them, and they were like, oh, we don't have anything till the 25th. And they said, I said I needed something sooner. They were like, okay, well, like, what's going on? I told them we suspect it's Pyometra, gave them the symptoms. They said, okay, bring her in right away. So we came in the next morning, brought her in for 8 a.m. This is Bizzi getting ready to, go inside for her surgery. This is Bizzi after her surgery. They they did call us around a couple hours after we took her, and they said, you were right, she did have pyometra. Her, she had a lot of extra abdominal fluid. Her abdominal fluids were actually cloudy. This is her after, so she was like kind of out of it with her, anesthesia and stuff. But yeah, so, her abdominal fluids were actually cloudy, which means that the infection had already started leaking out of the uterus and into, her body, into the abdominal cavity, and probably into her bloodstream. So she was really on her last leg. She was about to pull up out of here, you guys. She was about to leave the planet. We got her there just in the nick of time, and I'm just so glad and so grateful that we were able to do that, and that they were able to do it for a fraction of the cost. Praise God. They gave us they gave her an antibiotic shot. They gave her antibiotics to come home with, told us to continue the amoxicillin with it, gave us some food for her since she hadn't been eating, some things that would be easier for her to eat and that she might like. And it was just a blessing. And I'm so glad that she's getting back. See, look how her skinny she had gotten. She's getting back to being herself. This is probably, I'm not sure if this is the same night or this is the next day, showing her incision here. But it has gone down since, and it's looking much better. Just within a couple of days, Bizzi was right back to bouncing around. We did get her this bone broth, to make it easier for her to start back eating. And I actually got that, I think, a couple of days before she went in. So I was giving her that in a syringe, and sometimes we just pour it right over her food, and she'll tear it up. Just tear it up. So now she's right back to eating her food out of her bowl normally. Praise God for that. And I'm so glad to see that they have different options like this for, when your dog is sick and they're not eating normally. Look, with the broth on over her food, she's tearing it up, okay, off the spoon. We weren't expecting her to, want to eat so much because she hadn't been eating. So, we were feeding her off of a spoon, feeding her in a syringe. She's like, nah, give it here. She's ready. This is her walking around the yard just a couple days later. I don't know if this is 2 or 3 days. I think 2 days. And then she's sitting up on my dad's lap, getting some love. This is her in the car. Look at her walking around on the porch and just feeling better. I'm so glad that she's doing better every single day. She's doing much better. She's walking faster. She's doing more. And she's getting her nap after church on Sunday. And we got her this cute little cone collar. It's inflatable. We got it from Amazon. I'll drop the link for that below as well. I love it. I think she loves it. She doesn't seem to have a problem with it. She doesn't complain. She can eat with it. She can, and it does keep her from, biting or licking her incision area or her stitches, which is good because, nobody needs her to be doing that. We'll take it off sometimes so that she can have a little free time. Thanks so much for watching, and you guys be on the lookout for Pyometra in your dogs if your dog is not spayed. If you don't plan on mating your dog, please go ahead and spay them so that you can save yourself the trouble of worrying about Pyometra. Let's spread a little Pyometra awareness because I didn't even know that it was a thing. Thanks for watching. Have a blessed day.